the dressing room was across the street from the morgue.
Yeah, but why would it be though?
It's still
It's small
if she
town.
tracked blood in. If she
It's
tracked
Los
blood
Angeles.
into the
What do you
boarding
mean small
house.
town?
In 1925.
Yeah, I doubt she's
It
an
was still.
I should say I doubt she's an expensive hospital, so probably wouldn't be close to the expensive movie place.
Oh.
And also, if she tracked blood into the boarding house afterwards, where was the blood before that? So it'd just be a trail all the way across the street, even if it was like just across the street. I should say that from this point forward, she's a very successful vampire for a new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 The present is
also,
Chase
like-
Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chase Hamilton, who took her to that party in the first place.
Yep.
Which, yeah, that's.
Mhm.
I mean, nice is a strong word because like he is offering somebody else to get murdered, but like also that person facilitated the murder of.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know how many women at this point. It's like, how long has this been going on? So it's like, yeah, I don't really feel bad for Hamilton, but
Yeah, I mean, well, they were dumping that truck full of women in the desert, so
Every
and
single time.
Skinner knew about these parties, so I'm all like, probably pretty often.
yeah,
And then we find him in his
It
actor room, emaciated.
Yeah, so that's another thing where, like, man, she's really good at just walking around with a dead body, I guess. And she set it up
Mm-hmm.
to be found that way.
I don't know. I
yeah,
think
because they were supposed to be in like a morgue hospital place,
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I'll eat him and then put him in his dressing room.
Yeah, she had to get him there.
Yeah. Pretty strange. Pretty dramatic.
yeah, but I'm gonna say becoming a vampire lends you the ability to be like extra.
I was gonna say I would think, oh, she'd convince him to take her to his dressing room or something, and then eat him there and then leave. That would be smart. But she got blood all over the boarding house, didn't she? Because she's like, sorry,
Yeah.
Hattie, and then like isn't there.
Yeah. Which that means that she went from like the hospital or wherever, her dead body was, to her boarding house, to the dressing room, or maybe dressing room then boarding house, but still it's like blood everywhere. Ugh,
What if
very messy.
the dressing room was across the street from the morgue?
Yeah, but why would it be though?
It's still
It's
if
small
she
town.
tracked
Yeah.
blood in. If she
It's
tracked
Los
blood
Angeles.
into the
What do you
boarding
mean small
house,
town?
In 1925.
Yeah, I doubt she's
It
an
was still.
I should say I doubt she's an expensive hospital, so probably wouldn't be close to the expensive movie place.
Oh.
And also, if she tracked blood
Mhm.
into the boarding house afterwards, where was the blood before that? So it'd just be a trail all the way across the street, even if it was like just across the street.
Yeah. So then we go to Will Bunting revealing the fact that his story called Bad Blood is true. And it's a re-release of Bad Blood at this point. So he continues from what happened after the train crashed, and Skinner's suite was buried, and James Book was in the hospital, and he woke up. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, so he woke up and they said, "Oh yeah, your fiance died," and then that's where we were discussing before, where she died, and the wine is on the floor, which I thought was blood, but now looking at it, I get it now, and that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
wine.
sure it's a mix.
And then so James spits on Skinner Sweet's grave, and he's like, "Oh, let's go, boys." And I love how Will Bunting's like, "Can I tag along?" And the response is always, "Yeah, keep up."
Yeah. So then the next scene in this issue is like, the European vampires like, gathering, having a little meeting, and like kind of mad, honestly, that they like, because one of them is like probably like British or something, and then another one is Russian, and another one's German, and I'm like, so what cool fancy vampire powers do you guys have then? Because you're from different places.
Yeah, what makes them an American vampire? Can you, do you have to be born in America to be an American vampire?
Different hemisphere?
I would. It's just magic. It's that American spirit,
Yeah.
Cody.
It's probably a little bit more the idea that, because he calls it evolution, so I'm assuming it's the idea that these guys are really old, and if you bite enough people, you start to get some variations. But the fact that he gets bitten by the super old vampire, assuming Percy's super old, the tycoon guy, and then he's this new vampire, and then just next person he bites is gonna have like the exact same skill set as him.
I think it's more I think it's more along the lines of like how some people view American history in like the Revolutionary War, where Britain was like towering over us, and then we were like, we just want to be free, okay? We don't want to deal with you, all right? We have our own way of doing things. You don't come in here and start telling us what to do. So we're gonna fight back, So
his vampire genes decided to fight back against.
No.
It's the American
making it too complicated.
spirit.
It's the story. It's the way the story's laid out. Don't even think about specifics.
What were you about to say, Jake? The American spirit.
It's the American spirit. It's like Texas to America is what America is to Europe.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but then vampires.
No, but they're like the Lone Star State, like Republic of Texas. We were like our own country before we became a part of America.
That's a
even though that
personal
was kind of the plan
choice.
all along. But like, no, that's like the point I'm making is like America's independent and different, and all these Europeans are trying to tell us what to do, but we're not gonna let them.
So, going back to me trying to figure out the story logic or the actual world building logic. So they got bit.
No. You're thinking
they
too
got
much.
bit, and they were like, "No, I'm not going to be like you." And then they just became a better vampire.
Because they're Americans. Yes.
Yep.
They're so darn stubborn.
Okay.
They're like, "I'm going to be able to walk in the sun."
They're independent.
They explicitly say though in this that when you are from somewhere else, you get new tricks, and so I'm like, they've got to have.
I didn't know that.
And that was that.
That's what Skinner says, though. I don't really think he's done any research, does he? Or is that what Bunting says?
Like, the European thing is going to be that, like, all of the royal families and, like, all the power are basically kind of the same. Like, they all intermarry, and it's, like, the last...
I was about to say inbreeding, yeah.
Like, yeah, they're all, like, kind of, like, a European royal family. Like, even Russia was, like, the last Tsar of Russia was, like, married to a German who was raised in England. And it's, like, they're all basically kind of the same.
Okay, I can believe that. but also I do want to see, like, it probably gets explored in later volumes, but I really just like, I know that this is called American Vampire, but I already want to see other kinds of vampires from other places.
Australian
have more
vampires.
Watch
volumes.
Supernatural.
I have more
No.
volumes, and all I can remember is that it gets even more confusing because there's more time skips.
Good.
I
Mm.
remember the Vietnam War in one of them.
Well, yeah, like at the end of this one, I think it's in the Scott Snyder, like afterward, where it's like, all right, next time, World War II, we're doing it.
Oh, I thought they were just going to
Yeah.
continue the Pearl story.
I mean,
I mean,
they can
she's
because she is a
immortal.
vampire. So, like, they can. It's just like Henry's not going to be there, or is going to be old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, World War II? He could be around in World War II.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be
That's
like a
like what you
soldier. He would be like 50 going on 60 at that point, though.
Well, that was less
Unless
than
she
20
bit
years
him.
from now.
It seems to be really easy to make another person a vampire. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they make Henry a vampire, yeah?
okay, yeah, should keep going.
Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, basically, they, the vampires are talking about building a dam, in this town, and then, and also, like, whether, like, Skinner Sweet as a vampire could, like, possibly be a thing.
Mhm. So,
Okay,
He's, like, eating
that
rats
part.
in his grave.
mhm.
Oh my god, that part is so dumb. Because literally, what is it? They're like, oh man, us as vampires, the European vampires, we, water keeps us down, so even if he is alive in his grave, he could never get out. And, like, the fact that they weren't worried that he would get up as a vampire before they put him in his grave, or before they built the dam in 3 years' time.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
meanwhile, what is it? Pearl, like, woke up within, like, a day or something. A few days. And she's like, I'm a vampire now.
Well, he
I mean,
already did wake up, but for some reason he just didn't try to escape. He was just like,
I mean, like, I
I'm
would-
good here.
I would
said
say
he's
it's
weak,
dumb,
right?
but they were right. Like, he didn't get out.
Yeah.
But that's just dumb. That's just dumb luck. That's
But
not
they
like,
were right.
I can't wait for the dam we're gonna build in 3 years' time when it's gonna keep him down then.
So what?
And
what,
that's like-
what I got the inkling, but didn't really realize was that the plan was to build the dam to flood Sidewinder. I didn't quite get that. I was like, oh no, our research says that they're gonna be flooded within 3 years, and then
Well, I mean, that's not
That
the
doesn't-
only
I-
thing. It's like they also get to make a bunch of money off of that. But, like,
Yeah, they were just like, might as well. There, too.
it's
I should
it's,
say, that's like 1,000 days for them to get this dam up and running to make sure he stays down. Hope
Mhm.
nothing goes wrong in those days, and it didn't. So they're lucky.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is like, did they decide to go to New Mexico at this point? They meaning
Mm,
James, Will, and Felix.
Oh, well, like, they go to Cruces for the funeral of Book's former fiance. And
Okay.
then, like, then they leave. And, like, it's like the authors talk about all the adventures he had with Book and Camillo, where it's like, yeah, we went to Arizona, and we went to Nevada.
Yeah.
killed a 15-year-old.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. Got
Very
married.
casual. Like, I mean,
During that time, I was kind of an adult already.
Yeah, that's old enough to be, like, man of the house, if his dad was dead. But,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people have their opinion on the death penalty.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Felix gets married to Benita, and in 1886, and then they have a
Mm-hmm.
child in 1890 named Abelina, but Benita dies giving birth to Abelina. And meanwhile, we have some people Oh, so they built a new town over Sidewinder called Lakeview, and some idiots decide, we're gonna look for Tanner Skinner Sweet's body, or find a corpse that could pass as Skinner Sweet's body.
I do like it. Yeah, they're diving in this like lake area, and they're like, "We'll just find a skull or something, and we'll just say, it's his."
Yeah.
It's like, they're not looking for a payday. They have already been paid or like have been contracted to like, just go find a body and I'll give you some money. So it's like, it's not the dumbest, and it's a pretty easy way to make money if he wasn't a vampire.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he...
And that gives him just enough strength to kill them and get moving.
Man, he is one ugly-looking vampire. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so
I don't know,
he emerges...
As far as monsters go, he's okay.
He emerges on the hill over Lakeview, and he's like, all right, I want some candy.